What are we gonna do? Another t-shirt giveaway. Wow, I am really pumping out the videos this week, guys. This one you're probably going to get early tomorrow morning because, like I said in the last video, my job's firing up and I'm getting home later and later and later. So I'll probably be up all night editing this, even though it won't be a very long video. But you're probably not going to get it till tomorrow morning. Anyway. More updates. What we got going on. I'm going to show you. We finally got some parts in the mail today that I've been waiting on, but it's not the parts that I've been waiting on. So I'm going to show you that stuff here in just a second. We also got our LSX Innovations banner hung up. So we're repping LSX Innovations now. And I got to find a place to put this wheel. So let's get the t-shirt thing out of the way. Here's the deal, guys. You helped me hit kind of a personal milestone today. I mean, obviously we've got videos that have, well over 1,000 likes at this point. One thing I have never been able to accomplish is, for some reason, getting 100 likes on a video in one day. That's the first 24-hour period after the video was released. You guys crushed that today. I think the last time I checked, I had like 117 likes on that video. And we still had like an hour left, or 2 hours left, till it was 24 hours. So I got really happy that I hit that. That's not like a big deal. It's just a personal milestone I had. It was like a little hurdle I was trying to get over because, like I said, I've got videos that have over 1,000 likes, but for some reason I couldn't hit that number, and it was just kind of aggravating me. But we're going to celebrate it like it is an actual milestone, and we're just going to go ahead and do a giveaway, guys. So I'm going to give away a Bad Luck Garage t-shirt. All you need to do to be included in the drawing is go in the comments below and just, comment anything. I don't care what you say. Just get in the comments below, drop a comment. I don't care if it's just a period, whatever, and that'll enter you in the drawing. At the end of this week, I'll do the little thing where YouTube selects a random comment from this video, and whoever it selects will win a Bad Luck Garage t-shirt. I will comment on your comment and let you know that you've won, and you just need to come back and I guess shoot me a email at thebadluckgarage@gmail.com and let me know your shirt size, your actual name, and your address, and I'll get you one shipped out. With that being said, I wanted to say thank you guys once again. Thanks for watching the videos. I've actually been pumping out a lot of videos in a row this week, and it's just because I knew I was close to getting the car started and I was getting excited. And I had a little more time, guys, because let's face it, everything's been shut down the last few weeks. You know why. So my job was getting kind of low. Like I was able to spend more time working on the car is what I'm saying. And as you can see, when my job is not demanding so much time, I get a lot done really fast. Unfortunately, things are opening back up. Well, I mean, that's a good thing, but it's a bad thing from a standpoint of it's going to slow me back down because, I just don't have as much time. Tonight, as an example, I didn't get home till about 7 o'clock. So I'm going to try to do a few little things, but a few things up. We got some parts, nothing spectacular. They're behind me here in the box. But the main part that I'm waiting on, as far as I know, it still hasn't been shipped yet. I've been waiting on it for over 2 weeks, guys, and I'm about to the point where I'm just going to say to hell with it and come up with a new game plan because I want to get this thing together and, go make some hits in it. It's going to be fun. I'm excited, guys. I really am. This isn't the first project on the channel, but this car means a lot to me because it's kind of like my roots. I've said this before, but this is like the 6th third-gen Camaro I've owned, or 7th third-gen F-body I've owned, and I've regretted selling every single one of them. So to get another one and get to build it, and we're keeping this car, guys. This car is not going anywhere. It's going to be a permanent staple here on the channel. But I'm really happy, guys. I really am, to have another 3rd gen and to be working on another 3rd gen again. I know it just sounds goofy because, you know, these cars are a dime a dozen, but I've always had a soft spot for them since I was probably 5 years old, which is when they came out. But anyway, I told you, or at least I think I did, I had ordered like a build your own exhaust kit, and we're going to be using that to run the piping for the front exhaust that's going to come out in front of the rear, or the front wheels and everything. What was really cool is I already opened this. I was not expecting this kind of quality, okay? When I show you guys this, and keep in mind, I only paid $100 for this. Now, I was expecting, it is stainless. I was expecting like rough stainless, like I didn't think it would be all polished and nice. But this is a polished stainless kit. I'm gonna have to move some stuff around here. So basically, this comes with everything you need to build the back half of an exhaust system, or the middle half of an exhaust system. It comes with all these clamps, which obviously we don't freaking need exhaust clamps, but it came with them. And you've got 2 U-bends. And here's the thing, guys, like I said, this is polished. Like, this isn't just rough stainless. This is actual, like, polished mandrel bent stainless, and it's thick. I'm not sure what gauge it is, but, I mean, you can hear it don't ting. I mean, this is really thick, good. Like, this would be good probably to even build like a hot side with for a turbo kit, which, I mean, that's not what we're doing with it, but still. But it came with 2 U-bends. It came with this X pipe that is, I mean, pretty well done. I mean, like inside, I would probably, you know, hit it and knock some of the welding flash off inside. But, I mean, really nicely made. It's all polished too. And, you know, it's opened up to slip pipes into to make assembly easier. But like I said, we're not going to use that. We might use that on a project somewhere down the road or something. And then it comes with 4 of these legs here. Some of them are flared at the end to accept pipes. Some of them are not. But again, it's polished. It's thick. I mean, yeah, this is going to work out perfect, guys. And for $100, you really can't beat this. I mean, I'll put a eBay search link to this in the video description in case you guys want to pick up 1 or maybe even 2 of these kits. I mean, if you do a lot of, you know, build a lot of hot sides and stuff like that, I mean, one U-bend of stainless like this will usually cost you around, you know, 30, 40, maybe even more dollars, depending on if you get a name brand or not. So I feel like for $100, this is a killer deal. Like, this is something you might want to just buy a couple of these if you do a lot of hot side fabrication and stuff, and just have it laying around. But for those of you who don't know, what we're going to be doing with it is we're going to be coming off our turbo headers here, and we're going to be coming back this way and going down through here, right down in there, and then probably bringing the pipe out right here, right in front of the front wheel. Now, I have thought about going ahead and cutting a hole in each fender here and just putting the pipes out there, and I may still do that. It's all gonna kind of depend on what me and Brad come up with for the eventual twin turbo setup that's going to come on. To start off with, we're going to be cutting off these headers, and we're going to be moving the flange back here. So this flange is going to be all the way back at the merge. The flange on the other side, we're going to have to leave a little bit of pipe to make it exactly even with this one. So it'll be about that far ahead of the merge. But regardless, we're moving these flanges, you know, way back here to give us more room up here, because the radiator is going to be right there. So that'll give us a little more room to work with up here. Now, again, for the time being, we're just going to be doing NA exhaust coming out and going down, like I said. Brad's going to weld a bung in the exhaust on this side here for our wideband. But the eventual plan is to have a turbocharger right here like this on either side. And then my whole plan was I was going to kind of pull a Cletus McFarlane, and I was just going to have an exhaust pipe that came out and kind of bullhorned up a little bit. But my cousin had a better idea. Well, maybe not better, but probably a little more effective, I should say. So what Brad wants to do, and you guys can give me your opinion on this, instead of just coming out and leaving the exhaust up above the hood like I was wanting to do, what he's wanting to do is do a U-bend with the exhaust and come out and come around right back and come down and connect to where our old exhaust, the exhaust we're building now, have it come out in the exact same place on both sides. Now we're going to kind of go over the logistics of that when he comes back over here again. But if we decide to do it that way, then I'll probably go ahead and cut holes in both fenders, and we'll run these pipes out the fenders instead of underneath the fenders like I'd originally planned. Because, you know, if we can tie this back in and bring it out the same hole on both sides, you know, once we go twin turbo with it, then, you know, I'm all for going ahead and cutting a hole in the fender. But if we're not going to be able to bring it back around and do that, then I don't want to cut holes in the fenders now, because when we go turbo, then I'm just going to have two fenders with holes in them and, you know, nothing coming out. But that is the plan for the twin turbo setup, guys. You know, we're going to have this one. It's going to be pretty much right where you see it here. I've got it resting on top of the header, but that header is going to be cut off. So it's going to be pretty much right there. This isn't the turbo. This is, you know, the first turbo we used on Steppenwolf a couple of years ago that was too small. But the turbos I'm planning on getting are about the same size, so that's why I'm kind of using it for mock-up. So we'd have that one there. We'd have one in the same place on the other side. The hood line actually comes up right to about the middle, I think, of where this turbocharger is sitting. So what we would probably do is we would have the hood on it eventually. We would have a hood on it, and we would just cut a hole in the hood around the turbocharger, and then up here where only half the turbocharger was visible through the hood, we'll probably sink the hood down and kind of make like a chute that feeds directly into the inlet on both the turbos on both sides there. So that's kind of my plan with that. Of course, you know, once it's turbocharged, this guy here won't be here because that'll be tied into cold side piping. And honestly, what may end up happening is it may just be like a fiberglass cowl induction hood. So the middle will go over this, so the only holes in the hood will be on each side for the turbos. That's kind of what I got in my head right now, guys. And for the time being, we're going to have the steel hood on it. And I don't care. We're going to hack the steel hood up to fit all this crap, let it poke out through the hood, because I have no use for that steel hood whatsoever once everything's said and done. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan for that. That piping that I just showed you, that's what we're going to use it for. I'm not sure when Brad's coming back over to finish that up, but maybe this coming weekend or something, he and I can get together and we can go ahead and start the process of building the exhaust for right now while it's NA and nitrous, because like I said, that's going to be the biggest hurdle for me. Everything else I can do myself as far as finishing this up, but the exhaust work, that's, you know, me and Brad are going to have to come together on that. So that's going to be holding me up over the next week or so of actually getting this thing mobile. Yeah, I gotta say I'm really digging that profile with the turbo just sticking up. Like I said, guys, the hood's gonna roll. I'm probably shaking like a leaf. The hood's gonna just go right up through there, and about the whole top half of the turbo will be sticking up through the hood. So I mean, I could actually get away with just bubbling the hood in two spots, but I'd rather just have the turbos out there where they can breathe. I'd thought about tucking them in and you know, maybe building pipes to come over and put one here and one on that side and keeping it under the hood. But the fact of the matter is, I don't care about keeping them under the hood. I want them out where they can breathe. One of the biggest issues that I had with Project Steppenwolf was just all the heat under the hood. So I would like to do anything I can to alleviate the heat on this one. I didn't like that, and you know, the fact of the matter is, the cooler they run, the better off I'm going to be. So yeah, we're going to poke them up through the hood, guys, and I ain't going to feel one bit bad about it either. So the part that I've been waiting on that still isn't here yet, that I ordered like 2 weeks ago, is, you guys have all seen it. With these headers, they make like a little 90-degree elbow that has a turbo flange on it, and that's what I'm waiting on. Like I said, I ordered them like 2 weeks ago, and this eBay seller marked them as shipped the day after I ordered them and still has yet to ship them. So I've got a tracking number that just says, you know, UPS still has not taken delivery of the product after 2 weeks. So that's what I'm waiting on, guys, because what I want to do is I want to figure out exactly where the turbos are going to land with those flanges, because I don't really have a sense of how far forward or back those flanges are going to put the turbo flange. But I was really hoping to have those ahead of time so we could go ahead and figure that out, because we don't want to have to like cut these headers for now and then go back when we finally have all the stuff to do twin turbos and end up having to add material back or cut them and move them back even further or something like that. I was hoping to have all that stuff together already, and that's why I'm getting kind of frustrated that I still don't have the parts that I ordered, because I want to get this done. Like, that's literally the only thing. Like, Brad came over last weekend and we were trying to plan all this out, and we finally came to the conclusion, we were like, we need to wait for those, you know, those 90-degree flanges to get here, so we know exactly what we're doing. And you know, that's kind of where we're at with it, guys. We're waiting on those, but I'm to the point now where if those flanges aren't here by this coming weekend, we're just going to make a rough guess, and we're going to go ahead and let Brad chop these off. And I've actually got new V-bands to weld on here, because the V-bands that came on here are garbage. The clamps look like they're pretty good quality, but the V-bands themselves are junk. So yeah, by this weekend, we're going to try to go ahead and get Brad on modifying these headers. And Sunday is Mother's Day, so I'm going to go see my mother, obviously. So we won't be able to do anything Sunday, but Brad's just chilling at home right now, so it may be a situation where if we can go ahead and get our pipes cut and mocked up Saturday where they need to go, then, you know, maybe he can just take everything back to his house Saturday night and, you know, go ahead and finish weld everything together. And then next week, all I would have to do is come over here and drop the exhaust in and, you know, freaking put the V-band on, and we're good to go. Now, the next couple videos you're going to see from me, it's going to be with the LSX Innovation stuff, and they're probably going to be short videos, because I think what I'm going to do is put them in the LS Swap tips and tricks playlist, along with the playlist for this car, obviously, because they're going on this car. But I'm probably just going to do like short little 10-minute or less videos showing how to put that stuff on. Like, I'll probably do one with the water pump spacers. I'm just going to make it separate little easy to watch fast videos. So we'll do one with the water pump spacers, and then I'll do, well, it'll probably be a little bit longer video doing the low mount alternator and showing how to drill that extra hole, and then the manual tensioner. So that's going to be at least 2 videos right there. You know, one for the water pump spacers, and then one for the, you know, the install the rest. And I'll figure out what size belt we need. And once I figure out what size belt I'm using, we'll, you know, I'll put all that in the video description for you guys that were asking. Oh, and last but not least, our shorter spark plug wires are supposed to be here. I think, let's see, tomorrow's Wednesday. I think they're supposed to be here Thursday. So we'll be able to get those on. Once we get those on and get our accessory drive on, after that it's just, you know, throw the radiator back in and hook everything up and fill it up with water. And other than the exhaust at that point, this thing's ready to go. I mean, it's ready to cook. And something else I'm thinking about doing, I'm just still kind of kicking it around in my head, is I'm thinking about going ahead and cutting out this inner fender. I mean, obviously I've already removed, you know, the battery tray area over here, and I've almost got the one out over there. But I'm thinking about going ahead and cutting this inner fender, just cutting it off my frame rail here, and maybe, you know, following a line across here. Because if I did that, that would give me more room to wrap this exhaust around. It's going to have to kind of immediately bend off the back, which I know isn't really great for power, but I really like the idea when Brad was talking about it, because like I said, that would let me go ahead and put holes in my fenders here and run the pipes out NA now. And then when we did the twin turbo setup later, I could just, you know, follow basically the same routing and go out the same holes and not have cut holes in my fenders for nothing. You know, that would also just let more air out. It's not really going to let air in per se, but it'll let more of the hot air out if we do, you know, well, eventually we will have a hood on it. But that'll, again, I'm just saying the same thing over and over. What am I doing? What am I doing? You know, it's just going to let more hot air out, so we don't have all that heat in the engine bay here once we do get a hood on it. So that's it, guys. Gonna be, we're a couple little how-to videos and some exhaust work. Pretty much that's all we are. A couple how-to videos and some exhaust work away from having this thing out on the street or taken to the drag strip. I'm ready to make some hits. I didn't tell you guys in the last video, you guys on Facebook and Instagram already know, but we also scored a killer deal on a set of Mickey Thompson Pro Bracket radials. These are not street radials, guys. These are, you know, they're basically slicks with a radial sidewall, you know, radial construction. But I decided to spend my money elsewhere instead of going ahead and buying some 15 by 10 wheels and getting me a set of 28 1050s or 275 Pro Drag radials. I decided to keep the 15 by 7 wheels that are on here, even though they're not ideal. This is just temporary, guys. But I got on Craigslist and I just happened to find a set of 26 8.5s. Brand new. You can see they still have the sticker pieces on them. Like, all this guy did was threw them on his car, drove them down the road, decided he wanted a different size, pulled them off, threw them on Facebook Marketplace, and I got them for just a little over half of what they would cost new. So new, these things are about $240 a piece, and I paid $300 for both of them. So I was really happy about that deal. And guys, these things ought to hook. There are guys on this size of this pro bracket, you know, pulling 1.2 and 1.360 foots. So I'm not worried about how sticky they are. You know, as we get into some suspension work and get things worked out in the rear end of this car, these things ought to hook fine. They ought to hook more than well enough to tear the damn 10 bolt out of this thing. So that's it, guys. There's you another update. Don't forget to get in on the t-shirt drawing. Like I said, just drop a comment down below. Any comment will do. We'll do the drawing at the end of this week. I will probably do another video probably Friday or maybe Saturday night. And I'll do the drawing in that video. And at that point, once again, you know, you'll just have to tell me your shirt size, your address, and your real name. And I will ship the winner a shirt out. And that's all I got to say about that. So once again, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all the likes on that last video. Get out in the garage, get something done, and I'll see you next time here on Bad Luck Garage. Yeah.